What's up guys, Vezuvius here, and today I am starting a new sort of series, which is quite a common thing, where I'll be going through some games and doing sort of let's plays in them. I know let's play is quite a word that's tossed around a lot these days, but I suppose that's the only term for it. And now the game that I'm going to start with today is a game that I played a lot on the computer. I played the first one and the second one and its expansion, and a few years ago I found out there was a Xbox version of it, so we're going to play Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth 2. It's a real-time strategy game, much like Command & Conquer, if you've played that series, where you build a base and command units to destroy your enemy, and it's Lord of the Rings themed. So we'll jump right in as soon as the menus come up and the videos stop. I remember on the PC version this beginning cutscene would stop about halfway through. I never knew what happened afterwards until I got the Xbox version. But we're gonna skip all that and jump straight into a skirmish. So I think for this first one, to ease myself into the play style again, I haven't played this in quite a while, I'm going to do a skirmish 3 players on Helm's Deep. I think that's a good one to start with. Oh. Helm's Deep, plenty of money. I'll put myself in the fortress with the other 2 players down the bottom. Easy difficulty. I'm going to play Men of the West against Isengard. I'm not going to choose a custom hero and set up teams right. So yep, that's all sorted. Let's begin playing this match. Right, so what I normally do when I play this is I build 2 farms in the only 100% positions, which are over there where I just put it, and in this corner here. And if you look at the population cap down the bottom there, when those farms are fully upgraded, it means I'll have 1,000 command points and I'll be good to go. I won't need to make any more farms, and resource flow is fine as well. So I normally start doing with units is I normally get Faramir, who might not be a major character in the Lord of the Rings universe, but in this game he's very good at leveling up fast, and he's got very long range arrows. Also with the powers I'll use heal, just in case any of my units need more health or come close to death. Especially useful with heroes rather than units, because units have an upgrade that can be bought which allows them to get a banner carrier, and their units will replenish if any of them die, which is well worth the upgrade. Alright, so Faramir's here now. There are a lot of button combos in this game on the D-pad. I've just got to familiarise myself with which direction is which. I think up is hero, right is powers, down is builder, and left is whole army. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So we got some Uruk-hai pikemen coming. They'll probably just beat against the gate. They won't do much damage for now, but Faramir's on his way with his bow. He'll be able to take them out with ease, and that should hopefully level him up. At the moment Faramir's arrows don't kill with one hit, but as soon as he starts killing more, then they will. Which is the good thing about heroes, is their attacks are very much more powerful than normal units, as would be expected. So what I've done here is I've just built a barracks and an archery range so I can train some units. One thing the AI tend to do is walk their units up in this little space here, which is I don't know if it's an error or something, or it's the AI trying to see what I've got on the gate, but then they always run back and come up the rampart again. So I don't know what that could be. Good for me though, so I can see what enemies are coming before they've got to my gates. So it looks like this first enemy, the red enemy, are building up their forces, and they'll probably make an attack soon. But Faramir's taken out these enemies quite easily. Is he level 2? He's level 3 already, and he's only taken out 2 squads. Normally, there we go, level 4 again. He's no, a normal hero wouldn't take out enemies that quickly. So I'm going to get some archers, and I'm going to get some soldiers and tower guards just to have as reserves, just in case he gets a little bit overwhelmed or the gate breaks down. But most likely that won't happen. I remember there is quite an annoying glitch on the Xbox version. Probably a side effect of it being ported is that when the gate is destroyed, or if the gate is destroyed and then repaired from nothing, the gate disappears and all there is a blue and red block in each corner of the gate, so here and here, and they move when the gate's open and closed, but because they're squares you can't tell if the gate's open or closed or not just by looking at it. You'd have to send a unit through to make sure. So not only is losing the gate a bad thing in the game, it's a bad thing visually as well. Right, so I've got my archers ready now, and I will send them up onto the top of the gate. Some of them are spilled out through my postern gate here, but I'm going to send those up as well to get a good vantage point over this rampart area. I'm going to upgrade it too, so we can get some Athelian rangers, and they have much more powerful arrows and much higher range as well, so they'll be very useful. Now up here I'm going to make a blacksmith for upgrading my soldiers, and then I'm going to get a marketplace, which is good for it has several upgrades which can increase output of farms or the speed of upgrades, so it's a valuable building to have. Right, so the enemy are sending some more troops now. They've got they're not sending them, they're just sending one squad of Urukai, and as you can see Faramir is taking them out quite swiftly, and my other archers should follow suit. The AI will soon find that sending one squad isn't good enough anymore, and they'll probably start working with each other and sending in more. As you can see, this other enemy is sending in a bit more forces this time, 3 squads, and it appears this squad here will head up the ramp, and these 2 squads will walk down the side here. Probably a mistake on their part, but they're only easy. What should I expect? Right, I'm going to build another builder. I think my forces have the gate covered for now, unless a large assault happens. As you can see, this squad has been decimated without any damage to the gate, and the same will probably be for this squad, just it'll take a little longer. See, Varamir is upgrading like crazy, but what I was talking about earlier with the banner carrier, that's what he looks like, just holding a banner with a sword, and if any unit in this squad dies, they'll replenish when in due time. which is very useful for if a large attack comes and you suffer some losses, but if the banner carrier remains or one man of the squad remains, you can still get that squad back. You don't have to build another one and lose the rank it has. So you see this archer squadron is 3 stars at the moment, which might be the highest, unless it's just 3 dots, and then later on it has 3 stars or 1 star. So if I click on them, I don't think there's any way to find out what level they are unless I hover over them. They're level 3, maximum 5, so I think it is 2 stars. So it goes 1 dot, 2 dots, 3 dots, 1 star, and then 2 stars is the maximum. So these are a 2 dot squad. But for heroes it doesn't do that, they just have a number. If you go to the hero menu, so he's level 9 already. Level 10 is the max for heroes. Right, my builders have all finished up there, so I'm going to build a stable somewhere down here. That's good. And I'm going to build a well, which will heal my forces should they become injured, which is going to be helpful for Faramir or any of these forces if they get hit by arrows, or if in the event that I get forces out the front to repel bigger attacks, then that would be very helpful. So nothing's happening at the moment. My enemies are just probably building up their forces and going to mount an attack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another hero. I will get King Theoden. See what he can do out front, and then I will move my royal guards? Tower guards out the front with my knights, my soldiers, and I'll put them in defensive position just in case Isengard decide to send any warg riders, which is basically their version of cavalry. So like this, and these will repel them straight away. So if I put them in defense mode, they're gonna form a porcupine. Fortunately my soldiers have gotten in the way, but the tower guards have stopped them in their tracks and allowed my archers to destroy them quite quickly. And my soldiers actually suffered no losses, so I suppose that's a 1-up. I'm going to put them behind the tower guards if I can. No, I can't, so I'll leave them there. See, I've got enough archers now where they can inflict considerable damage to a squad when they come down here. So by the time they come up the ramp, they don't have a lot of strength left to fight. Let's see some upgrades on here. So we've got, it's reducing costs mainly, getting several discounts and increasing resource gathering from my farms. Now this if a squad gets banner carriers anyway, it doesn't matter if they have an upgrade or not, they just get them when they level up. But I'll get the upgrade anyway, just so I can do it with new units like this one and upgrade them straight away, so any losses to them will be replenished. So as you can see here, these are level 4, these squads now. Sometimes they run off the top or run from positions. Right, it appears that my enemies are expanding their bases a little bit. Isengard tend to have their fortress in the middle and then build their structures around the fortress, and then some dot off as needed. I think that the way they build their bases comes from the first game, and in the first Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth, rather than building your base by choosing the positions, you had allotted like plots of land, similar to Halo Wars, or if you've ever played Star Wars empire at war. There was no free building of bases. You had to set places for your buildings, and the Isengard bases were circular, or at least I think they were. The Mordor ones definitely were, but then back then you only had 4 sides rather than the 6. You had Rohan, Gondor, Mordor, and Isengard. And I remember the Isengard and Mordor bases had arrow towers, and the Rohan and Gondor bases didn't have arrow towers, but they did have walls and gates. So similar to this fortress, they had walls and gates you could open and close and put people up on the walls. But enemy forces just had their buildings exposed with arrow towers for defense rather than walls for defense. So Isengard have built a furnace out here, which is the Mordor and Isengard have 2 resource gathering buildings. Unlike the Men of the West, which only have 1, they only have the farms. Actually, tell a lie. Isengard and Mordor have 3 ways. You can either have a furnace, which is just like a farm. It takes a good piece of land, 100% piece of land, to get the good resources. But there's 2 others. There's a slaughterhouse, which I think is it might just be Mordor's equivalent of this, which I think is right, which is exactly the same as a farm. But then there's also one more, which is oh god, I can't remember the name. Whatever it's called. But basically whatever that does is you put it near some trees, and then they have orc workers that go and cut down trees, and the trees become resources. So if you're playing on a map like this, I mean there's no trees around here anywhere. There might be a few around the back, but it's generally unused. But if you're playing on a map like Fangorn Forest, you can probably already tell by the word forest that you're going to have a good time putting down all of those wood cutting resource gatherers. I can't remember the name, but alright, yeah, King Theoden is here now, and he can get on a horse straight away. So I'm going to send him on a horse just down to here, but I'll take him off the horse, dismount the horse. So I keep him on there, then he's gonna, because the heroes tend to attack enemies, whereas soldiers and knights and things just stay in one place and act defensively. So he's gonna end up charging into enemies on a horse, which is good if if he's charging archers or soldiers. But if he charges some pikemen, he's gonna be in for some hurt. So it's best to have him off his horse until I decide to attack. Right, now I'm gonna put the waypoint in the middle there. I'm gonna build a few horses, some Gondor knights, and I'm also gonna build some more soldiers and tower guards and some more archers. So I can buy some Ithilien rangers now, which are extremely useful, and I'll get some fire arrows as well. So what I'm beginning to do now is build up my forces, and I'm gonna go, and when I've got enough of my forces, I will take out one of the bases, the enemy bases, and make it easier for me to one, play defensively, or just to make the attack less.
Come, Rangers, let us scout for Gondor.
So taking out one of these bases will make it much easier for me. And once I've got a big enough force, I can take out, for God's sake, I can take out all my enemies with ease once I've got a big enough force. I'll probably need to regroup after afterwards. But if I'm fully upgraded, then that shouldn't actually be a problem. So what I normally do is I make all my units and then I go through and just upgrade them. At the moment I'm only doing banner carriers, but eventually I'll start doing heavy armor and the sword upgrade or whatever that's called, forged blades. And my farms are fully upgraded, so now they're 2-story. And a good thing about buildings is that when each of them are fully upgraded, they'll have an arrow tower as default. So which means that if the base was exposed, unlike this fortress base, then any attacking enemies would be shot at continuously, like the arrow towers do when you build them normally. So an arrow tower like this would just, if I put it here, would just shoot continuously at enemies. I don't need one right now, but yeah, once all of these buildings are upgraded to full, then they'll have one. So like the barracks has one on top of here, the stables have one on top as well, and so does the archery range, has one on the corner, I think. I'm not sure about these buildings. I don't think they do because they're just upgrade buildings. But yeah, the second floor acts as the arrow range. So as you can see, there's thinner windows, which they're probably arrow slits. And they look like the windows on the arrow towers anyway. Right, so I'm at 940 out of 1,000. I can afford the Rohirrim's squad, which I will get. I think there's a way to... oh, here we go. So I'll get fire arrows. I'll leave. I'll get the forged blades as well. Is there anyone else I need to get banner carrier for? Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, when these are all upgraded, it's good because they'll just continuously get their units back, as I've said before, and it's going to make attacking the other base much easier. I mean, if I'm lucky, I could just attack this base and then move on straight away to the other one. I mean, one unfortunate thing about being in a fortress like this is that the builders can't build walls and they can't build another fortress. It's unavailable because I've already got a built-in fortress and built-in walls. I mean, what I've done before is I've started off... there's 3 positions in this map. There's the fortress and then the 2 where my enemies are. Here and here. But there's also one here. And what I've done before is I've started here and put an enemy down here, and then I've quickly taken my builders and moved them through the open gate into here and built a fortress in here. Because this is a lot more defendable than this. And I'd rather be in these walls than outside here where they can attack freely. Although I can build my own walls, but they're nowhere as near as strong as these ones. And each faction have their way of breaking down walls. So men would have catapults. I think the men of the West only have catapults. I'm not sure they have a special way. But Isengard have ladders. And they're battering rams as well, and explosives. They have the most for getting through gates by far. And I think that Mordor share the same the same sort of equipment. Right, these enemies are just standing here at the moment, so I'm going to send Theoden in to attack them, see if that provokes them to run up. And did it? It did. So I'll send him back, because they're inevitably going to run to the gate, because that's what they want to try and destroy. Right, Isengard have a hero here. This is Lurtz. If you remember from the first film, the main Uruk-hai, the one that kills Boromir, that's him. But he'll probably run up here, kill a few of my units here, but he'll probably be killed by Faramir. Because Faramir is level 10 at the moment, and nothing will get past him. Wherever he is. Yeah, he's here. Right, I wonder if my Athelian Rangers have enough range to fire from up here. Right, my archers have fire arrows now, which means taking out enemies is going to be even easier. And I've unlocked Forge Blaze as well. I don't think I'm going to bother with the heavy armor because it's not needed, and I don't want to spend too long in the base. I want to get the enemies and I want to kill them quick. And maybe if this hasn't taken too long, I'll do another battle. We'll see how it goes. Right, so as soon as all of these upgrades are done, I will attack. So all the upgrades are in motion, and as soon as they're done, I'll send my forces and attack this base. Now, by looking at these buildings here, I'm guessing, in this sort of building, I'm going to guess that the fortress is around here somewhere. So I'm going to send my forces to the fortress and attack the fortress first, so that when it's destroyed, all my allies, all my forces will just branch out and start destroying buildings in this circle. And then I'll probably just go and mop up the remaining structures of this enemy. And then it's Orange's turn. Orange's turn to die after Red has been taken care of. Right, looks like no more notifications are coming through. But I'll wait for this attack to finish, and then I'll head over. It's curious, they haven't sent any archers, crossbowmen over, which is something they normally do. And they normally shoot at my soldiers down the bottom here. But when they shoot at the soldiers, where they shoot from is out of range from these arrows. But hopefully my Athelian Rangers will be able to take them out anyway. Oh, looks like Theoden run up ahead a bit. Right, I'm going to bring these Athelian archers back down, and actually I'm just going to I'll take these guys out of defensive position, put them back in their line formation, and I will see. For some reason this game is still laggy, even like, well, I don't know, 7 years after it came out. Even on the new hardware it's still laggy. I guess once laggy, always laggy. Right, I'm going to send them over now. They've got two heroes here. They've got Lurtz and this guy, Sharku. The guy that leads the warg attack on the Rohan refugees. But I'm going to send in the forces. I've got 1,000 of 1,000. This is the maximum army I can have. I'll just heal my soldiers at the front there. Make sure everyone is full strength, and we're good to go. And what's going to happen is my cavalry is going to move ahead of the soldiers on foot, and they'll probably start attacking, and then all of the units will be drawn back. And this is just speculation. All the units will probably be drawn back, where they'll be mopped up by my other forces. So let's see how they've laid out their base. So there's their fortress in the middle, like I said. So I'm going to attack the fortress and see what happens. So here are all their archers now. They haven't sent them in, they've just left them here. They probably won't do very much. Once my archers get here and get in range of the fortress, then they'll probably start mopping up other enemies as well. But like what's happening here, they're just flowing through the base, destroying what they can. See, like I was saying before with the arrow towers, if you didn't set them up in the same way, they were normally in small little plots in between every 1 or 2 buildings. Maybe, I think I should check if perhaps the AI Men of the West base is set up like it was before, in sort of a horseshoe shape with the fortress in the middle, as it was. But in the other game, the fortress wasn't a square castle like it is in this one. It was more of a spike. So I'll have to investigate it myself. You see, my allies are all bundled around here now. I'm going to move them to the other side so they flow around the fortress, and then I'll attack again, and they'll just attack from all sides now. This will mean more damage. See, the damage is massive damage to their headquarters now, and I haven't lost very many of my forces. Right, so their fortress is destroyed. I will take out the arrow tower just because it's a nuisance, and I've probably got some powers I can get. Yeah, 22. So what I normally get is Hobbit allies. Oh, I don't have that much then. So what I'll do is I'll get Hobbit allies, then Dunedain allies, and then Army of the Dead, if I get that many points. But from destroying this base, I should get plenty. So as you can see, the units are just flowing from one thing to the other, and if they're not attacking, then they're just motivating their allies, which I don't actually think is a thing. But there's a hero in here. Oh, it's my hero, and he looks like he's been hit by one of maybe Shaku's powers, and yeah, he's immobile, he can't move. So I think that's one of Lurtz or Shaku's abilities. It's, you know, freeze a hero in place. So I think I've actually got enough of my forces to attack this other base now, which I'm going to do, and I'm going to guess it's going to be on this side of the river here. Now these guys are attacking my gate, so I'm going to build some more Dunedain Ithilien, and I'm going to put them on top of the gate just so they keep defense of the place. So if you look at my population counter, it was 730 a minute ago, and now because of the banner carriage it's increased to 814. Right, I wonder if this base is maybe a little more advanced or not. See, this is a level 3 siege works. That's it, siege works, and this is their arrow tower, this little box. and same here as well. This is the arrow tower as well on their whatever this is, armory, and it'll be the same for the other ones. Look, they'll just look like it's just been tacked on the end, like here. It's just this little building on the side. See, these guys have a Shaku as well. So seeing all these heroes crop up, and they've just kept them at the base, which is actually another glitch on this game, or a feature maybe, is that if I were to be in Isengard's position right now, I could build my base out here and everything would be fine. But if I would go to attack, then the Isengard people would have only made heroes. That's what happens for some reason. For some reason, if an enemy or AI is in a fortress like Minas Tirith or Helm's Deep, they only make heroes for some reason, which is something that's really, I don't know, bothering. Because if you want to like recreate a battle from the movie, you can't really. You either have to be the good people and fight the outsiders, but you can't be Isengard and invade. And this is where my hobbit allies might come in. Oh, right, there you go then. I wasn't even looking, and my soldiers destroyed the enemy. So right, I think that's good for this episode. So I'm going to stop it here. But I hope you've enjoyed this one. I'm going to have some more coming out in the future with some different games. Maybe some more strategy, maybe some shooters, some of the Call of Duties I'm thinking, and some of the more familiar games that I've been doing on this channel for a long while now. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.